Hello, students, and a very good morning to you. Students, today we are going to start chapter 3 of class 8 science, that is synthetic fibers and plastics. Students, this chapter will be divided in two parts. So, this is the first part of this chapter. Students, in your previous classes, you have studied about fibers and its types. You have studied that there are two type of fibers, that is natural fibers and synthetic fibers. You have studied about natural fiber, that natural fibers are of two types, that is plant fibers and animal fibers, and you have studied about both type of fibers. So here in this class you will study about synthetic fibers. So let's have a look what we are going to study in this chapter. In this chapter, we will study about synthetic fibers. That what are synthetic fibers? We will study about some of the synthetic fibers as rayon, nylon, polyester, acrylic, and spandex. Then we will study about plastics. So in this part, we will discuss about synthetic fibers and its different types. And in next part, we will study about plastics. Now, students, before starting the topics of this chapter, we will discuss some of the topics that we have studied in our previous classes. So, first of all, we will see what are fibers. Students, we know that fibers are the thin thread like structures, they are thin strands which are spun into yarn, and yarns are developed into fabrics. So, on the basis how we get fibers, how we obtain fibers, fibers are of two types, that is natural fibers and synthetic fibers. So first of all we will see what are natural fibers. Obviously natural fibers are the fibers that we get from natural sources. Now what are the natural sources? Plants and animals. So natural fibers are of two types, plant fibers and animal fibers. Now what are plant fibers? Plant fibers are the fibers that we get from plants, as for example cotton, jute, hemp, flax. It is also called as linen. So we get these fibers from plants. Then animal fibers are the fibers that we get from animals, as for example wool and silk. Wool we get from sheep, and so other different type of animals as llama, alpaca, and silk we get from different varieties of silk. We know, students, that plant fibers they are made up of cellulose, and animal fibers they are made up of proteins. So these two things are very important, that plant fibers they are made up of cellulose and animal fibers are made up of proteins. Now, synthetic fibers. Synthetic fibers we have studied in our previous classes as synthetic fibers. They are made up of chemicals. Yes, these fibers are made by humans in laboratory. That is why these fibers are also called as artificial fibers or man-made fibers. And their examples are rayon, nylon, acrylic, polyester, etc. Means so different type of synthetic fibers are also there except these fibers. Okay. Now our next topic is how do synthetic fibers made. Synthetic fibers they are made by many monomer units. They are combined together to form large single unit called the polymer. Now students, what are monomers? This word monomer is made up of two words. Mono means one or single, and mer means unit. Means so many single units. Suppose this is the one single unit, second single unit, third single unit. They are combined together in a different manners. They are combined together to form large single unit, and this large single unit is called polymer. So we can split this polymer also poly and mer. Poly means many and mer means units. Means when so many single units they combine together to form a large single unit, then it is called polymer. Okay, and the process of combining these monomer units means when these monomer units they are combined together to form a large polymer, then this process is called polymerization. It means your synthetic fibers, these fibers are made up of so many very large number of monomer units, and these monomer units they are combined together, and when they combine together they form large single unit, and that large single unit is called polymer, and this process is called polymerization. Now how do they polymerize? So monomer units they are linked in two ways. They are linked either in linear fashion, as you can see in this diagram. You can see these are the monomer units, and these monomer units they are arranged in a linear way. Okay, so either they are arranged in linear way, means linear fashion, or they may be arranged in cross-linked fashion. As you can see in this diagrams, all these monomer units they are combined in a cross-linked form. So monomer units they may be linked in a linear fashion or in cross-linked fashions. Okay, now students, in our natural fibers also the process of polymerization takes place. How? We know that plant fibers are made up of cellulose, and cellulose is a type of carbohydrate. We all know, and we know that the simplest carbohydrate is glucose. So many glucose molecules they combine together to form cellulose. So glucose is the monomer unit and cellulose is the polymer. Students, when we talk about the animal fiber, then also same thing happen. Animal fibers they are made up of proteins, and the monomer units of proteins are amino acids. Okay, and except these fibers also, our body also have so many type of polymers. As one example is a hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is a type of protein which is made up of different type of amino acids. So amino acids are the monomer units which combine together to form a large protein, that is hemoglobin. So these are the examples of polymers. Now first of all we will study the first type of synthetic fiber, that is rayon. So rayon is the first synthetic fiber produced artificially. First of all, first man-made fiber is rayon. Okay, and this fiber is obtained from cellulose, which is extracted from wood pulp. Now you will think that when this fiber means the raw material of this fiber we are extracting from wood pulp, then how we are saying that it is synthetic fiber? So this wood pulp which is made up of cellulose, obviously this is the natural polymer cellulose. When we process it, it needs very large, very extensive chemical treatment to form rayon. So both the processes takes place. First of all, we are taking the wood pulp from natural source and we are chemically treating it. That is why it is natural as well as synthetic, or we can say it is not completely natural and it is not completely synthetic. That is why this type of fiber where we take the raw material from natural sources and then we chemically treat them to make fibers, such type of fibers are called semi synthetic fibers. Okay, now first of all rayon was developed in France in 1880s as a cheap alternative to silk fibers, because we know that silk fibers they are very expensive and not everyone can afford it. That is why first of all in 1880s France developed rayon just as an alternative to silk fibers. That is why that is why rayon is called as artificial silk, because it has so many resemblance from the silk. It has silk like appearance, it is very lustrous, it has a very shine in it. That is why rayon is called as artificial silk, and it has three different varieties, that is viscose, cupro and acetate. Now, properties of rayon. So, rayon is a good sweat absorber, means it absorbs a lot of moisture. That is why it is a very good sweat absorber also. And because it can absorb too much amount of sweat, that is why they are preferred over clothes made of other synthetic fibers. Rayons are widely used because they are very comfortable. It does not shrink, then it is very cool to wear and it drapes well. And yes, it can easily be colored in various colors. Now, advantages and uses of rayon. So, rayon is cheaper to produce as compared to natural fibers. It is not so expensive as compared to natural fibers. It can very easily mixed with cotton or wool, and when we mix the natural fibers like cotton and wool with rayon, then they enhances the properties of nylon, rayon. Then it is widely used in textile and carpet industries, and it is also used in making bandages. Now, next type of fiber is nylon fiber. This fiber is very interesting because this is the world's first fully synthetic fiber. As we have studied in rayon that it is the first synthetic fiber, but it is actually semi-synthetic, right? Because it is made up of natural source, and that natural source cellulose is chemically treated. That is why we get rayon. So rayon is semi-synthetic, but nylon was the world's first fully synthetic fiber, and nylon was first developed in 1931 from coal, water, and air. So you can see no any natural source we are using here. They were made from coal, water, and air, and it was developed by the U.S. scientist Wallace H. Carothers and his associates. And one more interesting thing about nylon is nylon was developed almost at the same time in New York and London. That is why it was named as nylon. So you can see NY was taken from New York and LON was taken from London. So that is why it was named as nylon. Now, properties of nylon. Nylon is very strong and it has very high tensile strength. Tensile strength means it can withstand very heavy loads without any breakage. Then, nylon is very strong. Yes, it is very strong because when you take the same similar dimension of the steel wire, or you can take two threads, one of nylon and one of steel, which is of same thickness, then nylon will be more stronger as compared to the steel wire. Okay, so they are very strong also. Then it is very shiny, soft, smooth, and elastic. It is very lightweight and easy to wash. Means if your nylon cloth will get any stain, then you can wash it very easily. It can be easily dyed in different colors, means it take colors so easily. It absorbs less water and dries quickly. Yes, this is not a good property of nylon. It absorbs less water, means obviously it will absorb very less sweat also. That is why it will not be so comfortable. Then it is wrinkle free and easy to maintain. It has wash and wear property. Wash and wear property means there is no need to iron it after washing. Just you can wash it and after you can wear it. It is very long lasting fabric, means it is very durable. Then it is resistant to attack by moths, fungi, etc. Means because it is not natural, that is why there is very less chance to the attack of microbes or other living organisms. Now, uses of nylon. Nylon is used to make dresses, different type of dresses, track suits, socks, stockings, shorts, etc. It is used in making swimwears, raincoats, curtains, bed sheets, etc. It is also used in making ropes. That ropes which is used for climbing the rocks, that ropes also, because they are very strong. Yes, they are used in making parachutes, tents, fishing nets, toothbrushes, car seat belts, sleeping bags, racket strings, tires, yes, tires for aeroplanes also, and umbrellas, etc. You can see that they are used widely and in different areas. We are using nylon for making dresses also, and they are used in different type of different purposes for making ropes, parachutes, and tires also. That is why they are very versatile in nature, means they have very different uses. Now next type of fiber is polyester. So polyester is obviously it is one of the most widely used synthetic fiber in the world. This is also made up of long chain polymer of a chemical called ester. Now what is ester? Ester is the monomer unit, and when it combined in a very long chain form, then its polymer is called polyester. As you can see, the name suggests polyester. Poly means many, ester means ester. This is the monomer unit. So its monomer unit is ester, and when they make long chain polymer, then it is called polyester. So polyester is a synthetic fiber, and this ester is sweet smelling organic compound. It has very sweet smell, and it is an organic compound, and it forms when an organic acid reacts with any alcohol. They combine together and they form ester, and they release water. Now polyester has different varieties. Two common varieties are terylene and Dacron. And one very important thing, that these fibers, polyester, can very easily they can be mixed with natural fibers, as they can be mixed with cotton or wool or silk, and they enhances the properties of polyester. Now properties of polyester. So polyester is an extremely strong, yes, it is also very strong, elastic and tough fibers. It is lightweight and durable, means it lasts for very long time. It does not wrinkle, shrink or stretch. It means there is no need to iron them. They're resistant to most chemicals. Then it is very easy to wash, and it absorbs very little water and dries very quickly. Again, this property is not good, that they absorb very little water, means they will absorb very little sweat also, and they will not be comfortable for us. Then it can be dyed in different colors. It also takes different colors very easily. It can be mixed with natural fibers to enhance their properties, as terracotta. Terracotta, when we talk about terracotta, so this terracotta is a mixture, it is a blend of terylene and cotton. Terry wool is the blend of terylene and wool, and terry silk is the blend of terylene and silk. Now uses of polyester. So polyester is used in making shirts, skirts, dresses, saris, track suits, pillows, curtains, carpets, bags, etc. Then terry wool is used to make suit lengths. Then PET, that is polyethylene terephthalate. It is actually it is also polyester, as we have seen varieties of polyester. The PET is also, it is polyester. It is a variety of polyester which is used for making utensils, wires, film rolls, etc. So these are the uses of polyester. The next type of fiber is acrylic. Acrylic is a synthetic fiber, and yes, it has a wool like feel, means it is a natural substitute for wool. Okay, and it is also known as Orlan or Acrylon. When it resembles to wool, then obviously it is very warm, soft and lightweight fibers just like wool fibers. It is very easy to wash and dries quickly. It is easily dyed in different colors and it has excellent color fastness, means it does not fade away its color. Then it does not shrink, stretch or wrinkle. It is resistant to different chemicals and attack of microorganisms, means they are not generally attacked by microorganisms. And one more thing, they are inexpensive as compared to natural wool. Now, uses of acrylic. Acrylic is used in making socks, sportswears, and woolens like sweaters, shawl, etc. And it is also used in making blankets, awnings, and rugs. Now, next and last type of fiber is a spandex fiber. So, spandex is also known as lycra. It is also a polymeric fiber. It is soft and rubber like, and it allows a fiber to stretch a lot, and when it stretch a lot, then it regain its natural shape, means its original shape, means when we have to make body hugging fit like cloth, then we use spandex. That is why these fibers are used in making swimming costumes, undergarments and shirts. Now, what are the advantages of synthetic fiber? So, synthetic fiber, they do not corrode or rust because they are rust free. They are very strong and they have very high tensile strength. They are very strong. They have elasticity. They are elastic and they give very body fit like means they are very body hugging type of clothes, any type of they are fit in any type of personality, slim personality as well as fat personality also, and after that they regain their original shape also. Then they can be given various colors, means they are dyed very easily in different colors. They are inexpensive, yes, very cheaper as compared to natural fibers. They're given different shapes and they're not affected by the action of chemicals, moisture, and bacteria easily. Now, disadvantages of synthetic fibers. So, first of all, synthetic fibers are non biodegradable. Yes, they are non biodegradable, means they are not decomposed by bacteria and fungi, just like plastics. They are hydrophobic. Hydrophobic means they repel moisture or sweat. Okay, means they do not allow our skin to breathe properly. That is why these clothes are very uncomfortable for us, and sometimes they give some negative health effect also, because our body, it releases toxins in the sweat. When we release sweat, so many toxic materials also, waste materials also we release, and clothes should absorb them. But these synthetic fibers, the fabrics made of these synthetic fibers, they are hydrophobic in nature, means they do not absorb sweat. Then they can catch fire very easily, and when they burnt, they produce very poisonous gases and fumes. One more thing, when they burn, then they melt and they stick to the skin. So that is why in case of fire, they can cause very heavy burns. When we iron them, at that time also we need to be very careful. Then they may cling together and stick to the skin, and they cause skin irritation, because what happens sometimes, synthetic fiber, they rub on our skin and they produce electric charges. That is why they cling and they stick to our skin and they cause skin irritation. So these are the disadvantages of synthetic fibers. In our next part, we will study about plastics. Thank you, students.